Rocketry എന്ന മൂവിയുടെ ഇന്ത്യ പ്രൊമോഷൻസിൻ്റെ തുടക്കമായ കേരളത്തിൽ നിന്ന് തന്നെ തുടങ്ങാമെന്നുള്ള നമ്മുടെ തീരുമാനത്തിൻ്റെ ഭാഗമായി ആദ്യത്തെ ഒഫീഷ്യൽ പ്രസ് കോൺഫറൻസാണിത്. ഇവിടെ എത്തിച്ചേർന്നിരിക്കുന്ന എല്ലാ മാധ്യമപ്രവർത്തകർക്കും പിന്നീടുമായ സ്വാഗതം. നമ്മളുടെ എല്ലാം ആർ മാധവൻ ഇവിടെ എത്തിച്ചേർന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഫിലിമിൻ്റെ നിങ്ങൾക്കെല്ലാം അറിയാവുന്ന പോലെ നമ്പി നാരായണൻ്റെ കഥയെ ആസ്പദമാക്കി ഉണ്ടാക്കിയ റോക്കട്രിയുടെ സ്ക്രിപ്റ്റ് റൈറ്റർ, ഡയറക്ടർ, ആക്ടർ ആൻഡ് പ്രൊഡ്യൂസർ, ഓൾ ഇൻ ഓൾ എല്ലാ മേഖലയിലും ഒരുമിച്ച് കൈയാക്കി തീർത്ത ഒരു ഫിലിമാണ് ആർ മാധവനെ. വി ഇൻവൈറ്റ് യു for the press conference and also welcome to Kerala. And with me next is Mr. Varghese Moolan, my father, who is also the producer of the movie. And with that, can we start the press conference? Yeah. I'll hand over the mic.
Yeah. I don't know. Should you sit down, sir? Yeah. Today, we are finally here after a 5-year journey. I remember the first time I came to Kerala when I heard about Dr. Nambi Narayanan for the first time. From there till today, it's exactly 5 years. We're waiting for Simran to come, so we will start with the trailers. Brother, you know, when I live in Bombay, okay? In Bombay, the problem is the traffic. There's a lot of traffic. When there's a lot of traffic, what happens is you're all following the traffic rules. But you know that to go for 2 kilometers, it's going to take 40 minutes. So you're holding your bladder. You want to go to the toilet. You can't go to the toilet because you can see the house, but you can't go. But you know, that is not a problem. You like to sit in the traffic and you want to wait there because you know that everybody is going through the same issue. But suddenly somebody will come from left, right to center, he'll cross over and he'll leave the traffic and he'll reach before you because he doesn't follow the rules. And that irritates more than the traffic. So what I'm trying to tell you is, all you guys have been sitting here following the discipline, they're doing the right thing. You waited for this press conference, you're all set. You people here are getting in their way by coming late. So please sit down, let's close the door. Let's make sure that you don't do injustice to those people. Huh, brother? And if you want to come, just come behind. No? You can see the poor chap, he set up his camera for 1 hour, he's standing there. Right? You're okay? Thank you. You say thank you for that. Fine. Dr. Nambi Narayanan. When I came to Kerala, to Trivandrum to meet Dr. Narayanan, somebody had told me that there's a case of a good-looking rocket scientist who had an affair with a Maldivian woman. And he was arrested for espionage, for giving secrets of Indian rocketry to Pakistan. And eventually he was arrested, tortured and almost killed, and he came out and he was proved innocent. That's the only story I had heard about in Mumbai. And so I thought after Vikram Vedha, this will be a good story to do something different from what I was doing. So with a very shallow opinion, came to meet Dr. Nambi Narayanan. And I will never forget the first time I set eyes upon him because it changed my life completely after that. Because when I looked at him for the first time, I knew that this man was not about this shallow case. I was missing something. I did not know what it was about his story that I was missing. But there was a lot more to Dr. Nambi Narayanan than the case that he was being known for around India. In fact, nobody knew about Dr. Nambi Narayanan. When I started talking to him, even he was only talking about the case. He was saying, I was arrested like this, there was no, they could not prove anything, all the claims were wrong, and he was very angry, he was very upset, he was full of angst, and he was hurt that somebody could throw this allegation on him. And I could see all that. And in the evening when he left, I was trying to figure out what I'm missing, but I had a good story that I had heard from him. It took me 7 months to write the script. I wrote the script. I came back to meet Dr. Nambi Narayanan here in Trivandrum and I showed him the script. He looked at it and he said, everything is good, Maddie, but this point is wrong because I was in Princeton, New Jersey, working on the unstability theorem with Professor Louis G. Crocco. When I heard Luigi Crocco, I started sweating because he's known as the father of the moon missions in America. He's a very, very renowned scientist. There's a theorem after him called the Crocco's theorem. So I said, sir, how do you know, Professor Crocco? He says, no, I did my thesis under him. That's where I learned the stability theorem. And I didn't know. Nobody knew that he had been to Princeton. He was the first Ivy League student. And he finished his thesis in 10 months. And slowly he taught, instead of the case, Nabi sir started talking about his achievements in France, in Princeton, in Scotland, negotiations he did, then Russia, the cryogenic engine. It was a baffling story that I have never heard. I didn't even believe it is true. And then finally, I asked him, I said, sir, why were you not telling me this story? And you know what he said? He said, that is not a story. They paid me a salary, I did my job. And that is the day I decided to make a film on Dr. Nambinarayan's achievements and not on the case. Because a huge realization dawned upon me, which is the true patriots in this country. There are those patriots who are brave, who go ahead and give their life for the countries, and their sacrifice is unparalleled and all respect to them. But there's another different kind of patriot. The one who knows that nobody is going to praise him, nobody is going to know his work, their life online, take all the risks and do their job for the sake of the country. And the contribution to this country is unparalleled. And it is very unfortunate that somebody like Dr. Nambinarayan should, and what happened to him should happen in India, because we are seeing the result of what happened. We got pushed back by almost 20 years in terms of space research. So I made the movie for two reasons. One is, a person like Nambi Narayanan should not happen to any country. Forget about India, he should not happen to any country. Because if you don't take care of the people who make you great, you cannot remain great. And the second reason I made is, as filmmakers, we all make big budget films on our freedom struggle and independence struggle and the fight against the Mughals and other stories. But there's another field that India is really, really good at, especially the Malayalis and the South Indians, which is science and technology, IT and medical sciences, as well as research. And we are renowned around the world for being the best in this. But nobody makes. When America makes a film called, Steve Jobs or Apollo 13 or First Man or any of these films, we believe that, America, they are capable of making such great stories. But we have better scientists and better professions even in India, and we don't make stories about them. Where is a Sundar Pichai, Satya Nadella, and then all these people from the south have done so well, from Arya Bhatta to everybody else, to Raj Rajatrolan. All these people have done extraordinary feats in science and engineering. So we should make films about them, and we should celebrate these engineers. So to celebrate the technical achievements of our country and to know how good we are is another reason that we made the film. I had the good fortune of meeting my friend here, Vijay, and my brother, and Varghese Mulan sir, who knew me and had appreciated my work, but they were bigger fans of Dr. Nambi Narayan. So when I told them that this is the movie I'm making, they jumped in and said, "We're doing it." They didn't care about the money, they didn't care about the time. I cannot be more fortunate to have partners and producers like the Mulans, because even during the COVID, not once did they say, "Shall we sell the film?" They all knew that it has to come in the theatre. So for 2 years, the film was ready 2 years ago. But for 2 years, they helped me hold on to the film. Now we are proudly presenting the film on the 1st of July. I have done my very best. We've shown it around the world, and we've got some very encouraging responses. So I'm very, very thankful to the Mullins, to my other partner, 27th Entertainment, who have stuck with me and believed in me as a director and as a producer and as a writer and an actor. And finally, I set out to make the movie, and it's ready for release. And I hope you have all your blessings and good wishes for the 1st of July. I'm waiting for Simran to come, but in the meantime, I'm really happy to answer any questions that you might have when you ask me.
Can I ask you a question?
Where are you?
Yeah.
Yes, brother.
So I'm Cherian from Salt Lake.
Nice.
So the whole story is actually based on a true incident, right? So if you check out the whole incident, you can see a famous media house has been involved in this whole conspiracy thing. So is the movie discussing about that particular part?
Good question, brother. We are not discussing anything of that sort. We are only discussing the achievements of Dr. Nambi Narayanan. Where is he? I don't see where he went. Yeah, sorry. So we are not discussing anything on that issue. We are only discussing why wronging a person like Dr. Nambi Narayanan is affecting our country. My job in the film was not to investigate, not to pass judgment. It is only based on the judgment passed by the court and whatever verdicts they have given. Apart from that, there is no speculation, not naming any political party, not accusing anybody or giving insinuation. It is just about a man called Dr. Nambi Narayanan and what happened to him in India. That's all the film is all about. Any other question? Yes, ma'am. There is a lady here. She wants to give the question. Yeah.
So we just told us that it's not about the case, what happened, what the verdict is, what the political situation happened. The entire life of Nambi Narayan was the battle against the system existing here. So how can you justify eliminating that major part in this film?
I don't think you're right, ma'am. The major part is not about his struggle against the system. Okay. His biggest achievements. Do you know why he got the Padma Bhushan?
Because of the tiara?
See, that's what I'm saying. You don't know why he got the Padma Bhushan. That's why I made the film.
So
That's his.
my
That's
only question, I understand this.
no, ma'am. I just want to tell you that that is a major part of his life. One incident is the case, and it lasted long and it ruined him. But that is not what Dr. Nambi Narayan is about. His achievements. Now, let me tell you what I mean by his achievements. The reason that Dr. Nambi Narayan needs to be celebrated is because he made an engine called the Vikas engine. Do you know that? Okay, so do you know what the beauty of the Vikas engine is? Okay, the Vikas engine is a liquid fuel engine, and he's considered, the founder of the liquid fuel. And because of that liquid fuel engine, every mission in ISRO, the missions might have failed or the satellite must have failed, but the rocket engine has never failed. It has a record of never failing in all the launches from the time it was installed till now. About 75 or 78 launches, which is a world record by itself. It's unbelievable. It's a self-relying, self-rectifying engine, and no other person has been able to do it. In fact, it was used in the Mangalyaan and the Mangal mission, the mission to Mars. All the other countries that became successful, they used three types of engines: the solid fuel, the liquid fuel, and the cryogenic. All three are required to travel, for a satellite to travel for 1 year to go to Mars. India was supposed to get the cryogenic engine, and because of this case, they couldn't get it. So they used Nambi Narayan's Vikas engine and the solid fuel engine, only these two engines, to become successful to go to Mars. And that is the reason this achievement is so spectacular. If this achievement was there in any other country, they would have been celebrated like nobody's business. I mean, the Russians sent a dog to space, and they have a plaque for it, a statue for it, a road named after the dog. But we have such successful stories and such amazing stories in ISRO, and we're not able to celebrate that. So that is another major of Dr. Nambi Narayan's life. Now, whenever I go and talk about all this now, people say, why are you spending so much money on sending rockets to space when people are hungry and people are dying? Even should we not put the budget into that? But I think they don't know that everything from arthroscopic surgery to aspirin to internet to road safety to textiles that save babies to fire resistant clothing, all these technologies are a derivative of space travel and research. It's because of this research that we are able to keep human beings alive from 60 to 90 now. Medicines that take care of everything from diabetes to dementia. And they're all derivative of what has been done in terms of research for space. And that's how it's helped humanity so much. And in the years to come, and much faster than you think, space is going to become a real a part of everybody's life. Your children's life, my child's life, because space travel is a reality. Finding minerals that are in meteors which are around the Earth, elements that don't exist on Earth that can possibly save lives and save people's diseases, all that is a real possibility. So you have to be right up there. The earlier kings who had control over the land, they were the rulers, they were the most powerful. Then the people who had control over the seas, that generation of people started controlling the earth. The people who had control over the skies, they started ruling the earth and becoming the most powerful country. But now it's space. and people who have control over space, the ability to travel there, and it is going to be in yours and my lifetime. They have control to travel that is going to be the most powerful country. And India is able to do that at much faster pace and a lower cost because of people like Narayanan. That's why he's a hero. So let's not make it shallow by saying case. It's a small part of his life. When right now he's been proved innocent. He's got, but even now he's saying India, let's go make another engine. Let's go make this travel possible. India is the best place to launch rockets from because we have 30% more efficiency when you launch rockets from India than from any other part of the world. That is the fight that everybody is fighting. He's moved on. I think we should also move on and make sure that we appreciate somebody like this. Yeah, that's the whole reason we put our money where our mouth is. And I wish you. It's very unfortunate. If you had met him, you'll understand what a charming man he is. He's handsome. What is the problem with Dr. Narayanan? The problem with him is what is the problem with all good boys in school. When you go to classroom in school, there's always a good boy. You know what the good boy does? He comes to school on time. His clothes are always ironed. He always does his homework. He's a teacher's pet. He'll sit in the front and answer all the questions. He'll make you feel bad because he's so getting some good marks. And your parents tell you, be like him or her. And when you get a chance to meet him, you want to slap him because you want to say, yeah, bloody hell, why are you so like that? You must be something wrong with you. And the moment he slips up once, the entire class pounds on him just because you want to feel as good because he's also not perfect. You want to use that one opportunity to make sure you are at par with him. And unfortunately, that attitude happens when we go on to society also. How can Dr. Narayanan, being such a good-looking man, and a genius and spectacular, have you seen his picture when he's young? No? Have you anybody seen Dr. Narayanan's picture in Princeton? You have seen, okay? I'm going to turn the lights off and I'm going to show you. You know what the problem was? They said, how can this man not have an affair? And I want you to imagine a good-looking man. Dr. Narayanan is very good-looking. In fact, he's better looking than John F. Kennedy. He's better. I'm saying, now you build up your expectation. You think, oh, Maddie is lying, he's an idiot. Or there is a possibility that he can be better looking than John F. Kennedy. So I want to show you Dr. Narayanan in Princeton, New Jersey, and you tell me whether he's good looking and better looking than John F. Kennedy or not. Lights off, Princeton with his wife. Lights on, please. France, and I went to Russia, Georgia, and they said, oh, Dr. Narayanan, come, you can shoot wherever you want. They allowed us to go and shoot in their space facility in France and Russia and other places because of the love and respect they have for Dr. Narayanan. I think we should show him that kind of love. Any other questions?
Co-director of this movie. How was his contribution?
He was not a coordinator.
Co-director.
He was a co-director, yeah. Rajesh sir is extremely creative. And he was there during the shoot and his contribution was extraordinary because I had not directed anything before. So I used to go to him and his creative, as an artist, he's extraordinary. And the kind of solutions that he gave for our creative designs was brilliant. And I'm very happy, not just him, my entire team from Murli to Prakash to I had a lot of people from Kerala who had come, Nandan, who was my AD, all their contribution without whom this film is impossible. And especially all the people who came from Kerala who were in love with Dr. Narayanan, including Vijit, my editor, my designer for the posters is Anup. All of them are Malayalis, and they are God sent. Today, if this film is getting any appreciation anywhere, it's only because of the contribution of this team that has stuck by me even through COVID. People have worked without salary through the COVID 2 years. The people who were, Rajesh sir was busy shooting his films. He had a lot of films to shoot and he was very busy. But the rest of the people, they just stuck with me. It was very touching to see the affection he has. And Rajesh sir is the reason that this film started because he has done an extraordinary interview with Dr. Narayanan, which I saw. That interview is the reason I did the film. And so I have to be, I don't know where he is. Yeah, I'd like to thank him for that. Thank you, sir. Thank you. That is Rajesh sir over there. That interview is the germ of this whole film. Anybody else? We have an event happening in the evening.
To the producer.
Yes.
Sir,
Which media are you from, ma'am?
I'm
Irisflick Media.
Sorry?
Irisflick. It's on an online channel.
Online channel. Okay.
സർ, ഇത് ഒരു വലിയ ബഡ്ജറ്റിലുള്ള ഒരു മൂവിയാണ്. സർ, എൻ്റെ ആദ്യത്തെ സംരംഭമാണ്. എന്തുകൊണ്ട് ഇത്ര ലേറ്റ് ആയി?
ആദ്യത്തെ സംരംഭമല്ല, അതിനു മുമ്പ് ഓട് രാജ ഓട് എന്നൊരു തമിഴ് പടം പിടിച്ചിരുന്നു. ഇത് സെക്കൻഡ് മെയിൻ പ്രോജക്റ്റാണ്. ഇതിലേക്ക് വരാൻ കാരണം 94 മുതൽ നമ്മൾ ഇതേപ്പറ്റി അറിയുന്നുണ്ടായിരുന്നു, ഈ കേസ് ഇതിനൊക്കെ. ഞാനെന്ന് വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ 80 മുതൽ വിദേശത്തായിരുന്നു, ഗൾഫിലും അമേരിക്കയിലും യൂറോപ്പിലെല്ലാം. അപ്പോൾ വിദേശ മലയാളികളാണ് കേരളത്തിലുള്ളവരെക്കാളും കൂടുതൽ ഇത് ഫോളോ അപ്പ് ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ടിരുന്നത്, ഇവിടുത്തെ കേസുകളെല്ലാം. അപ്പോൾ ഇത് തുടക്കം മുതൽ എന്തോ ഒരു ഇതുപോലെ തോന്നിയിരുന്നു. കറക്റ്റ് ഈ പറയുന്ന കേസുകളിൽ ഇതിന് മറ്റുള്ള പുറത്തുനിന്നുള്ള സൈഡിൽ ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് ഇതിൻ്റെ ഇൻഫർമേഷൻ കിട്ടിയിരുന്നു. കുറേയൊക്കെ ഞങ്ങൾ അന്വേഷിച്ചപ്പോൾ പല രീതിയിൽ ഇതിൻ്റെ ഇൻഫർമേഷൻ കിട്ടിയിരുന്നു. ഇതിൽ എന്തൊക്കെയോ ഇതുണ്ടെന്ന് ഈ കേസ് ഉണ്ടാക്കിയതിൽ. അത് കഴിഞ്ഞ് പിന്നീട് 2010 മുതൽ ഈ കേസ് പിന്നീട് കൃത്യമായിട്ട് കോടതി വെർഡിക്റ്റെല്ലാം വന്നു കഴിഞ്ഞപ്പോൾ അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ ഇന്നസെൻസ് തിരിച്ചറിഞ്ഞപ്പോൾ തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും ഒരു മലയാളി എന്ന നിലയ്ക്ക്, ഒരു ഇന്ത്യക്കാരൻ എന്ന നിലയ്ക്ക് പിന്നെ ദൈവം തന്നൊരു സാഹചര്യം, ഇത് പ്രത്യേകിച്ച് മാഡി സാറ് ഈ പ്രോജക്റ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നു എന്നപ്പോൾ ഇതിന് മുമ്പായിട്ട് ഞങ്ങൾ നേരത്തെ അദ്ദേഹമായിട്ട് കോൺടാക്ട് ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു, മോനൊക്കെ ആയിട്ട്. അപ്പോൾ ഈ പ്രോജക്റ്റ് ചെയ്യുമെന്ന് അറിഞ്ഞപ്പം ഞങ്ങൾ തന്നെ എന്ത് റിസ്ക് എടുക്കാനും സാധിക്കുന്ന രീതിയിൽ റിസ്ക് എടുക്കാൻ ഞങ്ങൾ തയ്യാറാവുകയാണ്. കാരണം വി ഹാവ് ഗോട്ട് ബിലീഫ് ഇൻ ഹിം. അതിൻ്റെ പശ്ചാത്തലം ഈ പ്രത്യേകിച്ച് ഒരു മനുഷ്യന് ഏറ്റവും കൂടുതൽ ഒരുപക്ഷെ ഇന്ത്യയിലെ ശാസ്ത്രീയ രംഗത്ത് ഏറ്റവും കൂടുതൽ ആദരിക്കപ്പെടേണ്ട ഒരു മനുഷ്യൻ ഇത്രയും കൂടുതൽ നീചമായിട്ട് ചവിട്ടി താഴ്ത്തപ്പെട്ടതിലുള്ള ആ വിഷമം, ഒരു മനുഷ്യനോടുള്ള ഒരു വിഷമം തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും ഇതിൻ്റെ പിന്നിലുണ്ട്. തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും ഇത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് വേണം അടുത്ത പ്രോജക്റ്റുകൾ ഉണ്ട് മനസ്സിൽ.
We have been friends. ഒരു ദിവസം രാത്രി ഡിന്നർ കഴിഞ്ഞ് വെരി ലേറ്റ് നൈറ്റ് ഡിന്നർ ആയിരുന്നു, ഒരു 2 o'clock 3 o'clock കഴിഞ്ഞ് കുറച്ച് ഫ്രണ്ട്സെല്ലാം മാഡിയുണ്ട്, ഞങ്ങളെല്ലാവരും കൂടിയായിട്ട് ബോംബെയിൽ ഫുഡ് കഴിക്കാൻ പോയിക്കൊണ്ടിരുന്നപ്പോൾ കാഷ്വലി മാഡിങ്ങിൻ്റെ അടുത്തൊരു ഡ്രീം പ്രോജക്റ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ടെന്ന് എനിക്കറിയാം, സയൻറ്റിസ്റ്റിനെ പറ്റിയാണ് എന്നും അറിയാം. പക്ഷേ ബാക്കി ഡീറ്റെയിൽസ് ഒന്നും ഇതുവരെ ഞാൻ ചോദിച്ചിട്ടില്ലായിരുന്നു. ഞാൻ അങ്ങോട്ട് അന്വേഷിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ടല്ലോ മാഡിങ് എന്തെങ്കിലും വലിയൊരു പ്രോജക്റ്റ് ചെയ്തൊരു സയൻറ്റിസ്റ്റ് എന്നല്ലാതെ കൂടുതൽ ഡീറ്റെയിൽസ് ഒന്നും ഞങ്ങൾ സംസാരിച്ചിട്ടില്ലായിരുന്നു. ആ ഒരു ഡിന്നറിൽ വെച്ചാണ് അടുത്തത് ഏതാണ് പ്രോജക്റ്റ് ഇപ്പോൾ എൻ്റെ ഒരു ഫ്രണ്ടാണ് ചോദിച്ചത്. അപ്പോഴാണ് മാഡി പറയുന്നത് നമ്പിനാരൻ മലയാളിയാണ്, അറിയോ എന്ന് ചോദിച്ചത്. ഇത് 2016 ആ ഒരു സമയത്താണ്. അപ്പോൾ ആ പേര് ഞാൻ എവിടെയോ കേട്ടിട്ടുണ്ട് എന്നല്ലാതെ എനിക്കും അധികം കൂടുതൽ ഡീറ്റെയിൽസ് അറിയില്ല. അപ്പോൾ അത് എനിക്ക് തന്നെ ഭയങ്കര ഇൻസൾട്ടായിട്ട് തോന്നിയൊരു കാര്യമാണ് അതിനുശേഷം. കാരണം ഞാൻ പഠിച്ച് വളർന്ന വിദേശത്താണെങ്കിലും അത് ഞാനൊരു എക്സ്ക്യൂസായിട്ട് ഞാൻ ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്നില്ല. കാരണം നമ്പിനാരനെ പോലുള്ള ആളെ പറ്റി എല്ലാവരും അറിഞ്ഞിരിക്കേണ്ടതായിരുന്നു. എന്നിട്ടത് എനിക്കറിയില്ല എന്നുള്ളത് എനിക്ക് തന്നെ വലിയൊരു കുറവായിട്ടാണ് എനിക്കത് ഫീൽ ചെയ്തത്. അപ്പോൾ എന്തോ ഒരു കഥയാണെന്ന് എനിക്ക് മനസ്സിലായി. അപ്പോൾ ഞാൻ അത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് ബാക്കി കൂടുതൽ ഡീറ്റെയിൽസ് എൻ്റെ ഫ്രണ്ട്സിനൊക്കെ മനസ്സിലാക്കി. പിറ്റേ ദിവസം രാവിലെ ഞാൻ തിരിച്ച് നാട്ടിലേക്ക് പോയിരുന്നു. അപ്പോൾ എയർപോർട്ടിൽ വെച്ച് ഞാൻ മാഡിനെ വിളിച്ച് ഞാൻ പോവുകയാണെന്ന് പറയാനായിട്ട് വിളിച്ചപ്പോൾ മാഡി അടുത്ത് ചോദിച്ചു, മാഡി ഈ പ്രോജക്റ്റ് who's going to do the project? Are you going to produce it? Who's the producer? അപ്പോൾ മാഡി പറഞ്ഞു, I'm doing it myself. It's my dream project. ഞാനത് ഒറ്റയ്ക്ക് ചെയ്യാൻ പോകുന്നു. വേറെ ആരെങ്കിലും വന്നാൽ ശരിയാവില്ല. എനിക്കത് ഒത്തിരി ക്രിയേറ്റീവ് ഫ്രീഡം വേണം. ഇത് ഞാൻ ഒറ്റയ്ക്ക് ചെയ്യാൻ പോകുന്നു. അപ്പോൾ ഞാൻ മാഡി അടുത്ത് പറഞ്ഞു, ഞങ്ങളും കൂടി കൂടിക്കോട്ടെ എന്ന് ചോദിച്ചു. മാഡി പറഞ്ഞു, നിങ്ങളാണ് പറയാം, നമുക്ക് ഒരുമിച്ച് ചെയ്യാം, കുഴപ്പമില്ല. ഞാൻ നേരെ ഫ്ലൈറ്റ് കൊച്ചിയിൽ ലാൻഡ് ചെയ്തു. ഞാൻ ഡാഡിയുടെ അടുത്ത് പറഞ്ഞു, ഡാഡി മാഡിയുടെ അടുത്ത പ്രോജക്റ്റ് നമ്പി നാരായണനെ പറ്റിയാണ്. ആ പേര് കേൾക്കണം, ഡാഡിയുടെ മൊത്തം റിയാക്ഷൻ ഞാൻ നന്നായിട്ട് ഓർക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. നമ്പി നാരായണനെ പറ്റിയാണ് മാഡിയുടെ അടുത്ത പ്രോജക്റ്റ്. ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞു യെസ്. അപ്പോഴത്തേക്കും ഞാനും ഏകദേശം റിസർച്ച് ചെയ്ത് എനിക്കും ഏകദേശം കഥ മനസ്സിലായി. മാഡി പറഞ്ഞു അങ്ങനെയാണെങ്കിൽ യെസ്, മാഡി ഇപ്പോൾ തന്നെ വിളിച്ച് പറയാം, ഇഫ് ഈസ് ഓക്കെ വി വുഡ് ലൈക്ക് ടു പാർട്ണർ. അപ്പോൾ തന്നെ മാഡീനെ കോൾ ചെയ്തു. മാഡി സെഡ് പ്ലീസ് കം, ലെറ്റ്സ് ഡിസ്കസ്. 2 ദിവസത്തിനുള്ളിൽ വി റീച്ച് മുംബൈ. At that time we had no script, we had no actors, we were planning to make the movie in just Hindi. It was just a Bollywood movie. Without any of that, the only 2 reasons why we said yes to this was because it was by Maddy, it was a dream project by Maddy, and it was based on Nambi sir. Those are the only 2 reasons we did this movie, and those 2 reasons still remain, which is why we have been able to withhold the movie and give all the support, all the dedication for this movie all this while, because we know the dedication that Maddy has put to in this movie, and we cannot let all that effort go waste. So we were very sure that this has to be a theatrical experience. So we were very happy to wait for 2 years. We said, let's wait.
നമ്മളിതേപ്പറ്റി ആദ്യത്തെ ഫസ്റ്റ് ഡിസ്കഷൻ മറ്റെല്ലാം ചെയ്തത് 6 വർഷം കഴിഞ്ഞ് ഞങ്ങൾ വെയിറ്റ് ചെയ്ത് ഇൻവെസ്റ്റ്മെൻ്റ് എല്ലാം കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് ഇത്രയും വരെ ചെയ്തതിൽ ഇപ്പോൾ ഞങ്ങൾ വി ആർ ദ മോസ്റ്റ് ഹാപ്പിയസ്റ്റ് പീപ്പിൾ. ഇൻവെസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്തതിലും ഈ പ്രോജക്റ്റ് മാഡിയുടെ കൂടെ നിന്നതിലും ഏറ്റവും കൂടുതൽ അഭിമാനവും ചാരിതാർത്ഥ്യവും സന്തോഷവും ഞങ്ങൾക്കുണ്ട്.
This is the first shot.
Yeah.
Can you explain that moment?
You know, I'm Kerala and Malayalis have been a savior for me from the time I started this career of mine. I've had them, I mean, I lived with Malayalis all my life, but when my first film happened with Madi sir, my shoot happened at Kerala. The first song happened in Kerala. And from that day in itself, everybody used to think because my name is Madhavan that I'm a Malayali. And then they thought that Kavya Madhavan was my wife. So it was, but they always showed the utmost respect and love for me. I've been so touched by the entire attitude of Malayalis, not only in Kerala, but I live in Dubai right now. Even there, I am Madhavan Jetta to them all. Madi Jetta is what they call me. So I am eternally indebted to everything that Kerala and Malayalis have contributed to my life. They've always been lucky for me. My first film was shot here as an actor, and my first film as a director has been done as a producer. All the people in the world and all the people I've worked with, it has to be another Malayali family, the Mulans. So I think it's a very lucky sign for me. Thank you so much, guys. I know we have a one-on-one lined up as soon as this is over before the function. So I'm very, very grateful. Thank you so much for coming for this event. And I will see a few of you all when we do the one-on-ones. Okay. Thank you. Jai Hind.